If you thought Snow White and Cinderella had wicked stepmothers, wait until you hear this Armenian fairy tale called The Wicked Stepmother, where she might be the worst. A hunter has a wife, she dies, he remarries, and then on his deathbed, he tells her, hey, my son from my other wife is gonna grow up to be a hunter like me. Tell him never to hunt in the Black Mountains. And so he dies, and the stepmother tells him that, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna do it anyway. On the mountain, the lad gets confronted by a giant on a horse of lightning, and the giant's like, I'm gonna kill you, and the lad takes his bow and arrow and kills the giant. Like all giant killers, he then steals his stuff, mounts his horse of lightning, and rides to this palace that belonged to the giant. Inside the castle is a maiden as beautiful as the sun, and she says, human being, the snake upon his belly and bird upon its wing could not come here. How did you come? And he's like, I killed the giant. She's like, for real? And he's like, yeah, there's his carcass over there. And he like shows her the big dead body. She invites him into the castle, tells him she's the daughter of a prince and that the giant kidnapped her and has been keeping her here with 40 beautiful maidens who serve her. She says, since you have killed the giant, I, who am a virgin, it's important she didn't bang the giant, shall be your wife, and all of these maidens will serve us. So he marries the girl and lives in this awesome castle with a bunch of other hot chicks. If you're wondering, why is this called The Wicked Stepmother? Well, here's where that comes in. Sometime later, he's sighing and he's sad, and his wife is like, why are you sad? Am I and my 40 handmaidens not enough to please you? Which makes me think things are going on with the handmaidens, but that's beside the point. He's like, I just miss my stepmother. And she's like, well, bring her here. Let her come live with us. When the stepmother gets there, she feels like she's the queen of the palace as the mother-in-law of the bride, and she makes her and the handmaidens do whatever she wants. We are also told at this point that the stepmother is, of course, well-versed in witchcraft and medicine. She goes to the corpse of the giant and brings him back to life and falls in love with him and begins a romantic sexual affair with the giant. Somehow she hides him in the cellar. Soon she wants to get rid of her son because she knows that he would not be cool with her having this affair with the hidden giant in the cellar. So she asks the giant for advice and he gives her some. And so she gets in bed and lays upon like crackers so it sounds like her bones are aching and she's like, son, I'm so sick. This is a common trick of evil women in folklore. He's like, mother, what can I do? And she's like, go get me the melon of life, hoping he'll be killed on this quest. So he does. But on the way, he meets this random old woman and stays at her house. And she's like, okay, well, here's how you get the melon of life. It is being guarded by 40 giants in a castle. Get ready for this. She says, when the male giants go out hunting, there's one female giantess who will be left behind kneading dough. If you are able to run and suck the nipples of the open breasts of the giantess without being seen by her, you are safe. If not, she will devour you. I actually read a Palestinian story where this exact same thing happens, like secret nipple suckling is, I guess, a thing. So he does it, he suckles at her breast without her knowing, and then she sees him and she's like, well, now that you've suckled at my breast, you are like one of my sons, I can't eat you, here's the melon of life. So he goes home, gives it to his stepmom, and she eats it like, ooh, I'm healed now. So then she goes to the giant, she's like, we gotta send him on another errand to kill him. So this time they have him go after the milk of the fairy lioness. A lot of milk in this one. He stops with the old woman who again advises him what to do, which is to shoot the fairy lioness, which is a lion that's also a fairy, in a pustule, like a sore in its paw, and then it won't be able to hurt him, and once it calms down, it'll give him what he wants, and that works. He's like, what do you want? He's like, give me some of the milk from your udders. And she's like, okay, there's 2 orphan lion cubs in this cave. Go kill them and skin them and bring me their skins. And so he does, and then she fills the skins with her milk. He's like, all right, be on your way, but don't hurt my lion cubs as you're leaving. But he sees the cubs and he wants them, so he steals them. But she comes after him and she's like, why are you stealing my cubs? And he's like, I just thought that I could give them a really good life. I promise I'll take good care of them. And that's like enough for her. She's like, okay, go ahead, take my cubs. So he goes home, gives the stepmom the milk, and then she sends him out for the water of life the next time that she's sick. And this time when he goes, he takes the 2 cubs with him. The old woman tells him when he goes there and collects the water, that he will be assailed by scorpions, serpents, beasts of prey, and then genie and devoured by them. And that turns out okay. The lions help him and the whole bloody mess is over. He's got the water of life. So he brings it back and the stepmom goes to the giant and she's like, I don't get why we can't kill him. And the giant's so impressed by her son and he says, well, he's a great hero. I think only you can kill him. She's like, how am I going to kill him? He's like, well, you know how he's got those 3 red hairs on his head? I think if you pick him out, he'll go down. So the mom's like, son, lay your head in my lap. Let me pet your hair. And then she pulls the hairs out and it kills him. He dies. And so she gives him to the giant and says, chop up his corpse into small pieces. But the giant's like, no, I'm not doing that to him. He's a hero, man. So the witch does it herself, chops her stepson up into little pieces, puts them in a bag, throws it over the garden wall. But the lions find the bag of body parts and they take it to that old woman who's been helping him. She has kept a bit of the melon, a bit of the water of life, and a bit of the milk that he's gotten. And she uses all of them to put him back together and bring him back to life. He thanks her, gives her tons of treasure, and when he goes home, he finds that his wife has been imprisoned in the cellar. The giant's now out in the open, and so are half a dozen younglings partying with the stepmom and the giant. They've been having kids this whole time. So that's how I knew for sure they were banging. The dude is horrified and full of rage, understandably, so he goes up to the giant and he's like, hey, go get me a bunch of wood from the mountain. And the giant respects him, right? So the giant goes to get it. He's like, yeah, I know I banged your stepmom and like had all these kids with her and like helped her conspire to kill you, but like, I respect you. That was wrong of us. They start a big bonfire and our dude says to the giant, bring yonder witch and throw her in the fire. And he does. And then she shared the fate with all of the bastard children. They throw them all in the fire too. And the lad looks at the giant and says, should I throw you in too? And the giant's like, no, I will honor and obey you. So he's like, all right, then I won't kill you. You're going to swear obedience to me and be my servant. And the giant's like, awesome. Then he releases his wife from the cellar and they all live happily ever after. I really think the giant won the day in this, honestly. As always, check out my book, Dust Spells, a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and my podcast, links in the bio.